Let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse. Of course, quite a lot of economic data that investors locally are digesting, including the inflation print for March that came out, where we did see consumer prices, the increase there cooling down. It did go from 5.6% in February to 5.3% in March. We also did have a decrease in retail sales. Of course, this is a bad thing when it comes to retail sales of a 0.8% in February year on year. So consumers' position, they're not looking good. Of course, we did see the JSE actually trading mostly in the green for most of the day, but we are seeing now trading flat, basically just 0.01% below that flat line. We do have the financial 15 carrying the bulk of those losses there, declining 1.7%. The industrial 25 there with a loss of more than 0.5%, but backing that overall trend, doing quite well, is the resources 10 complex there with a gain just shy of 3%. Of course, you know that not all resources are the same, as we did see the PGM and the iron ore stocks there boosting that resources complex. Let's take a look at what is happening in the US markets. And on that front, investors digesting comments that came out from Fed Chair Jerome Powell yesterday while he was speaking at a forum in Washington, saying that the trajectory of inflation has not boosted its confidence in terms of where it is going, and of course essentially where interest rates are going. So we do have some jitters there, with the S&P 500 declining more than 0.4%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq shedding there 0.2%, and the Dow with a loss of almost 0.4%. Let's take a look at what is happening across the Atlantic, and of course more inflation data coming out from the UK. We did have an easing in inflation in March to 3.2% from 3.4%. And then also investors digesting a few company earnings out from ASML, LVMH and Adidas. But a sea of optimism there, I guess, boosted by those earnings. FTSE 100 up more than 0.5%. The CAC 40 there with a gain of more than 0.8%. And the DAX inching higher by 0.15%. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand relatively flat against the US dollar at 19 rand 3 cents. Against the pound and the euro, a little bit of weakness there. 23 rand 71 against the pound, at 20 rand 26 against the euro. Let's take a look at what the other currency pairs are doing. We start off with the euro dollar at 1.06, pound dollar at 1.24, and the yen just getting weaker against the US dollar, now just below 155 against that currency.